I have been trying to put into practice the aspect of seeing as Lujan Matus describes it. As I understand, our eyes, or rather our sight, is the vision within, with 2% of our vision dedicated to the world outside ourselves. There is an awareness of this as I peruse the various understandings of my sight. I have referred to this as my dreaming while asleep, where one has their eyes closed to their outside world, while seeing the world within themselves, broken briefly at times with the necessity to see as I walk to the bathroom. However, even in these instances, my eyes are often closed while navigating to the bathroom. In one way, as I presume that there are several instances of seeing, the challenge is not doing while dreaming awake, or rather seeing within as we do during our sleep time. I have found that with conscious dreaming while asleep, we are essentially not doing to bring about the dream of our inner selves awake. I want to be proficient at seeing and want to see the dream of life with my heart as it unfolds. With regard to hearing, I feel that I have a good grasp of its principles. My inner talk has subsided greatly over the years. However, there are those times when self-importance hits me due to circumstances of life, and then the inner talk abounds. Sometimes when this happens, I simply observe my inner talk. Several years ago, I attended a darshan. At the end of the darshan, we had a Q&A. I asked the Maitreya how he knows the right timing of doing things. He looked at me with a surprised look on his face with regard to my question. He said, while pointing to his head, "There isn't much going on in here. For example, I was invited to go to Nepal. My heart said yes to going, and then I used my intellect to plan how to get there and the things I must do to do so. I determined that what I had to do was to achieve the silence of my mind while engaged with life, rather than just doing so during a set time of meditation. One day I achieved 30 seconds of silence and was blown away with the sweetness of silence. A couple of years later, it occurred for half a day. What I found was that once I achieved silence of my mind, it was relatively easy to stay in the silence for some time. The challenge is to enter the space of silence at any time. One activity I engage in is talking out loud what is in my mind. While doing so, a realization came to me that I have the same ramblings akin to a schizophrenic responding to voices within their mind. Then laughter abounds while I gasp for air, and the inner talk is silenced and forgotten. A few days later, I was stopped at a stoplight, noticing a woman across the street talking out loud to voices within her head. I observed her intently and came to the conclusion that the only difference between that woman and myself was that she gave voice to the ramblings of her mind, whereas I did not. We were essentially the same in this regard. Now, as Lujan says, I listen to what I cannot hear, and the silence comes to me. Joseph.